Hi, this is a video vlog thing. Just me, easier for me to say a little bit more about the analysing the opening scene I did on my blog. I'm just saying it a little bit, it'd be easier if I did a video as well, as I'm better at looking at videos than watching videos. So, we are going to be doing the first film opening I ever did. Fast Five, part of the Fast and Furious franchise. It's an action-packed adventure car-based film franchise. So this is the fifth one. That's why it's called Fast Five. It's the fifth film. It was released in 2011, I can believe. Let me get my details up on my blog because I've done this on the blog. So title Fast Five. Directed by Justin Lin. Production company, Original Film and One Race Films. Distributed by Universal. The budget was $125 million. And then at box office, $626.1 million. So they did produce a lot of profit. And they released in April 2011. So it is action-packed films. That's why they needed more budget than maybe a comedy, a romance film, or drama film. So I've got the scene here. It's 2 minutes long. And yeah, so this actually the scene follows from the ending of the fourth film. They've added at the fourth film you've got this massive cliffhanger of what's going to happen, and the opening of the fifth one tells this while showing what happened in the fourth film, but in a much better quality. I think the fourth ending was quite horrendous, but the opening of this has to be the one of the best in the franchise, in my opinion. So you've got the ident from Universal, which is such an iconic ident as they distributed it. Then we got our ident for original films. So they were with One Race did this production. Yeah.
Dominic Toretto, you are hereby sentenced to serve 25 years to life at the Lompoc Maximum Security.
So our opening scene is actually black, but we hear this voice-over narration of a judge as he is sentencing one of our three main protagonists to prison. And the one that's being sent to prison is Dominic Toretto, who is played by Vin Diesel. We are getting this close-up shot of him in this orange kind of prison boiler suit. So we get this expression that he looks guilty, like he's obviously been convicted, he's guilty, he is going to court, but he's like regretting his life. Even though he's blind, you can kind of see that he is like regretting it, his decisions that he did in the fourth film. But if no one has seen this, but like I'm gonna go and see this blockbuster that came out in 2011, and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, letting the audience know who have not seen it, the other films, kind of know what he's going to prison basically. Then it fades into black and then fades back into another shot of our two other main protagonists, which is his sister Mia and his brother / best friend Brian, and Brian is dating Mia. So we get a close-up shot of them, and Mia is in pieces. We've got a tear rolling down her eye, and Brian is just concerned, but I think deep down he is upset. So the close up shots help show their emotion more, and stuff like that really. And then the narration or the voiceover carries through.
Prison system with without the possibility of early
So then our next shot is actually him walking, and we actually kind of look like we're getting this. Is a low angle shot, and we're actually walking past him. Even the long angle shots show that they have power, like a character has power, and it's just kind of ironic they used to have this power, and now them getting onto his prison bus is like their power getting stripped away from them. So it's kind of like showing that they have this is their last chance of having power, and the fact that this camera angle shows it is just ironic. Then we get in our first establishing shot, and it's just weirdly it's this dead tree, and we get this prison bus going past. It's almost desert-like. We're almost in the desert, but I think it's somewhere like in the middle of America, and it's just dead. It shows it's peaceful. There's nothing actually there, and the music helped reflect this. The music's quite peaceful, quite calming, and it just helped reflect the mood of where they are on this bus, and it's almost like making the audience nervous. Sorry. And it's kind of like, you feel nervous because, like, why is it dead like this? Why is the music like this? This is supposed to be an action-packed movie, and the fact that it's not fast-paced yet is quite nerve-wracking. Then our next shot is actually we're zooming into it's almost like we're going past him again, but more of an eye level shot, zooming onto Dominic as he's looking down. He looks sad and stuff. But as I was looking at these first 5 or 6 shots, as they're fading in and out from like fading into a shot and then they fade back out to black shot and stuff, when they do that, it's almost like he's reminiscing. He's like looking back, like in flashbacks, while on this bus. That's why our last shot is actually him on the bus before the action-packed thing starts. And it's almost like he's looking back as in flashbacks. It is a flashback. We're getting reminded of what happened at the end of the 4th film. So it's kind of like he's looking back. He's regretting his decisions. He's and stuff like that, really. And it is, to me, I thought it was a flashback, and it's a flashback for the audience as well. And for people who have not seen it, it's just telling them a little bit more. But that's how I saw it. So it's a flashback. I should stop. So then, first shot of this action part, we're getting this shot of the long road that is ahead in this dead place. The actual prison bus is in focus. It's actually in the middle ground, so it is a medium depth of field. And it's in focus, and it's on. This music's just silent now, and it is just no sound. We're just hearing the sound of the bus engine, and it's just like, oh god. And then instantly, like that, we're getting sound of car engines come in, and they shoot in from the right hand side of the corner into the shot, and that it changes the focus from the bus to them, who are now in the foreground of the shot as they're coming into the shot. And you've got this music, like heavy drums, like do 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 do, and it's almost like danger. Also, they're black cars, black sports cars, fast cars. Links to the title, Fast 5, fast cars. As this little bit of dangerous bit of like worriness now. It's like, what are they doing? But also it's just like this deviness about it, like, it's just like that. It's hard to explain how it starts, but you just know something bad is going to happen by the way the colour of the cars are, the make of the cars, and the fact that the music portrays that, shows something's going to go down, and it's, believe me, it's not just going to hi, not a nice hi. Then we're getting this aerial shot, or like a crane shot even, that zooms into zooms in from a very wide angle onto the bus, as the cars come into the shot. It's more like landscape now, and we're seeing the bus go past, and then the cars are following behind. Then we get this slight angle as the cars coming in. This is showing the power of the cars. There are three 3 cars being shown. Let me get my thing up because I wrote most. But anyway, there's 3 black cars, and it's at low angle. Shows power that they're in the car. Then we get in our first close up shot. This is like a large close up of Brian as he's in the car. He looks over to the next car next to him, who is actually Mia, who is smirking. They are both smirking in these close ups, so it's showing their reaction and they're smirking, instantly giving this idea to the audience. They are going to be doing something bad. They know what they're doing. You know, they've got an idea planted into their heads about this bus. We're getting a low angle shot of the Hyundai sports car, showing the significance of the power it has and how fast it can be. And similarly with the other sports car. We get another zoomed in shot onto Dom. He still looks very upset, quite depressed, as the other prison inmates are actually looking out. He's in his own world. He's just a bit like, I don't care, you know what I mean? We're getting a lot of shots from the front of the cars as they go across in front of the bus, and a lot from the back, just to show the space is limited. Like, between the cars and the bus, they're very tight. We're getting another aerial shot or a crane shot as they are going past, and it's like going up, they're going past the crane or the helicopter shot. Another low angle as Mia's car goes past as she does a U-turn, and we get a low shot of her pulling on the handbrake, showing her power in this. She has a lot of power. All these people, these 3 characters in the car have this power, and they are, they can use it wisely. And the way it's just used is that power in that handbrake. The handbrake is going to cause so much damage. And this is shown by the track marks as well, as we actually get an outside shot of her doing the U-turn as well. Another aerial shot as she goes towards the bus. And then we get an over-the-shoulder shot from the bus driver as he's like, jerking to get the bus past and around the car so they don't crash. And this causes the bus to swerve. Then we get a extreme close-up of Brian's trainer pressing on the brake. Again, showing the power he has in that single brake / foot. And then you get kind of like back of the car shot as we use brakes, but we're still carrying on of him showing braking. And then we get up close front one. Then we get a perspective from the bus as it's crashing, so close crashing into the back of Brian's car. We're seeing Brian's facial expression. Then we get a view from the back window as the bus crashes in. Then the music goes silent after that. We are just hearing the devastating sounds of the crash as we're getting them both aerial, wide, low angle, high angle, basically all the shots you can get to show the impact and the effect that the crash has had on the bus. The bus is practically wrecked as it rolls over, and you're just left with this shocked face. You're like, oh my. And the way you hear the sound of the crash is just making it cringy. It's like, oh no, like you worry because one of the main protagonists is in that prison bus, and you're like, is he alive? Even though this is a rescue mission, they're like, have they done something wrong here? Were they supposed to crash the bus? Their friend could have died. It's creating this narrative enigma right at the end. And here we go, our last shot is an aerial shot as it pans around the bus being crashed and it splits to a black screen. And then we got our title screen as it's like an end and vroom and it's in capital letters. It almost has this 3D effect to it, making it much more bolder. Whereas I put something about the 3D effect. Yeah, it makes it. Here it is. The title text emphasise the actions on capital letters, and also the text angle is slightly on the diagonal as well. So it emphasises the action. So it's almost like he's going past. It's like an angle. It's kind of like whoa, and it does have a 3D element to the text. It makes it a lot more bolder, much more sharp, much more like it adds to the action pack, like this boldness by adding that 3D element kind of to the text. Then actually we leave it for a couple seconds and it cuts to like almost like a computer malfunction in a way, and this actually relates to the next scene. The next scene we get a shot from like various news coverages and CCTV footage, so it links to the next bit, by the way, how the text has been transitioned off from the screen, which is clever. It adds to the action thing and also shows what's happening to the next scene. I think that's pretty much it. Except for there's loads and loads of narrative enigma we get left from the opening, and we're just a bit shocked, like, oh. So there are basically, I would say, 4 basically. If someone has not seen the film, there are 4. If you have seen it, they are 2. Sorry, 2. So, what has Dom been convicted for? We don't know why he is going to prison. And the voiceover, it just says, you're being served for this, you're going to prison. Secondly, who is the third character in the third black car? We only see Brian and Mia, yet we are shown 3 cars. So we don't know who it is. We don't know if that character is going to be in it. I think it's because he's not significant. The third character is not significant in the 5th film. He actually doesn't get shown, but he is in the 4th one. So that's why I didn't really include it in the opening of the 5th film, because he doesn't exist. Or he's not in the 5th film. So for someone who hasn't seen it, it is quite why I haven't shown it. But it's just to show that he's not really that important. However, the 2 questions, if you watched the 4th film or not, is like, if Dom's still alive with the crash, because that crash looks deadly, looks like people were killed in that crash. The way it's been rolling, no one can survive a crash like that. There have been multiple rollings. They practically flew off a car, like a back of a car. And also, if Brian and Mia get away with the crash/crime, we do get a lot of news coverage and CCTV coverage, but it was in the middle of nowhere. Were they captured by some news footage or CCTV footage? We don't really know, unless within the next body of the film. But those are really the questions we get questions we think about as an audience. We're like, what's going on? It's shocking. It's very shocking to see that crash. But it's like the tension's been building up through the fast-paced adrenaline from the shots, from the music, and it's climax. It's like it builds this climax, and then that crash is the climax of it, and it just happens, and you just left like with, you were left on the edge of your seats wanting more. Like, I want more of this film. And, it's incredible to get something like that in 2-minute opening, fast paced, yet trying to tell what's happened from the 4th film, but also carrying on what was the end of the 4th film into the beginning of the 5th film. Incredible. And that's why I really love this opening scene from the franchise. So yeah, that was basically it. There's more in detail, more screenshots, everything on the blog, which will be in the description box, as always. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, bye!